and I'm the founder of Alive magazine. So today we have Meschack in the house. Today we'll basically be talking about his journey into music.
Yeah.
Hi Meschack.
Hi Florelda.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm perfect. So can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, your name, where you're from, how old are you? You don't really have to tell me your age, but just give me those little details about yourself.
Okay, so my full name is Meschack Mulenda. Okay.
Okay.
But my artist name, I love to go with my first name. You know, I just stick to Meschack. You know. I think it's straightforward.
Okay. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what first got you into music?
Let's see. Well, I've always been a musician from a very young age. You know, I've always had an inclination to music. You know, everything I did had music. Music was part of my. Like I remember being young. You know, I would go home and take a pot because I grew up in the Congo, so we used to cook with with charcoal and stuff. So we had pots in the house, and I'll just take one of them and I take like a spoon or something and just start heating on it. And I always wanted to volunteer to sing whenever they needed someone to sing. So I'd say it's not really something I got into, but something that has always been there.
With.
Yeah, it's been there.
Okay, so tell me, when did you actually decide to be really serious about it?
This year. Well, I was into music, but it was more of I was playing at church, playing instruments, covering other artists. But to come out as my own musician, this year was really it was the year where I decided to just, pop out there.
Why did you decide to just come out of nowhere and?
Well, I feel like it's something that I should have done a long time ago because it's always been coming to me, but I'll say I didn't have the confidence at the time and the skill set I needed to actually start. Not that I've reached it, no, not at all, but I feel like the timing wasn't right, and
okay, that's very interesting. So I'm not a musician, okay, so if I wanted to do music, what would you really give an advice to somebody who wanna emerge into music but they really don't have the confidence? Like, I understand you say that you don't really have the confidence, you're still working on it, but I'm pretty much sure that there's something that force you to just explode and come out, right? So if I were a singer, let's say, and I wanted to do music, what would you really tell me to focus on, basically?
Okay, I would say if you're a musician but you really want to emerge and come out, and I say your focus will be on perfecting your work first of all, perfecting your craft, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that you need to go through, making your sound much better each and every day. And jump into it. You never know. Like, go into it, give it a try. I think that's the only way you find out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very interesting. So now, do you have any plans for next year?
Next year, definitely. So next year we really just want to, just step into a new level of our music. To reach more people that we didn't reach this year. To just dive into, to just make our work much better than it is already at this moment.
So are you working on something at the moment?
I have been working on a lot of things. I really have. We have a few projects coming out. It will be in February, March. There's a few stuff coming, but our focus for next year will be mostly to promote the work we've done this year already. I have a few songs that are out there, that a lot of people who got the chance to hear them, they really liked it. So I think the focus for next year will be not really to release as much music, but to now promote the work that we've already done. The work that
you've been doing.
Yeah, work that we've been doing.
Very interesting. I got to listen to a few of your songs, and I must confess that you have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
Sometimes there was a time I was just sitting down. I'm like, where does this guy come from? What were you waiting? Like, what were you waiting for all this time? Like, the world needs to hear more of your songs, more of your music, and I feel like you do not just sing for entertainment. If I'm right.
Yes, absolutely.
There is definitely a story behind every song that you write.
Definitely.
So, what inspires you to write because I know for every song that you write there is a story. Like absolutely. For me personally, I write. I'm in charge of the magazine. I don't just write just for the sake of writing. There's always a story attached to what I'm writing.
Yes.
So with you, what inspires you to write music? Like when you producing a song or music, or when you're writing a song.
Yes.
What inspires you?
Okay, for me, first of all, is my experience. I think there's nothing as authentic as an experience, you know. So you can have a nice thing, you can have a nice story to tell. But if it's not your story, it's not going to be as it's not going to have the depth, So for me, it's mostly my experience, all right, to share the how can I say, positive message in a negative experience, in a way. For instance, that's my first approach. And then my second approach is to, like, for instance, I have a song that I haven't released yet. It talks about gender inequality with what's been happening with women all over the world, in South Africa and stuff like that. So it's first of all my experience, and I say, okay, what are we currently going through, like, in our society, and what do people need to hear at that moment? And then thirdly is to magnify God. Actually, it's the first one, I'll say, to really, because I think God is the ultimate, Jesus is the ultimate person, the reason we do whatever we do.
So you're all about the Father's business, basically.
Definitely, like, that's really what I
That's good. Okay, so what last words do you have? Because today is the 31st. Last year of 2020. So what are your last words for 2020? The year 2020.
I mean, nobody saw this year coming, everything turning out the way it actually did. But what I have to say is, I think in every challenges there's there's a lesson to be learned.
They say that for every new level there's a new demon.
You can put it that way. 2020 was a challenge to so many, to myself personally. I still feel there was a blessing in it,
Of course.
There was so much of a blessing.
Of course.
I mean, we had to find new ways to adapt as musicians. Okay, new way to reach our audience, new way to do things, and it wouldn't have happened if this year wasn't what it is, So I'd say to 2020, you've been an amazing year in disguise.
That's true.
So, and just also to send my condolences to those that really lost loved one, and also to encourage those who lost jobs. So there was a blessing in it,
Of course.
There was so much of a blessing.
Of course.
I mean, we had to.
I'd say for me it was one of the best and worst year.
Wow. All right.
Because I got to learn new things, a lot of things about myself that I did not even know that I had them. And God also did his things, I'm not gonna say them, but God really did his things. Like, man.
Wow.
God is just. No, I was even talking to one of my friends, my editor. I was telling, I'm like, you know what? God is just amazing. God is. There's a certain way that God works. You can't really comprehend his way of doing things. Success usually come when you are not looking for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're focusing on something else, before you know it, boom.
Yeah,
it just comes. The people that you've been praying for decades, once you shift your focus on something else, things just start happening.
Wow.
And I think that's the most beautiful things about focusing on you, loving yourself more.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things that 2020 also taught me is to love yourself more.
Yeah.
Focus on you. Focus on yourself. Because I used to be this kind of person that I never used to care about myself. I'd care for everybody else. I do stuff for everybody else, but I wouldn't do stuff for myself. Then I'm like,
hey, now it's all about me.
It's all about me now. So I'm not saying that people should focus on themselves and be selfish or anything. Yeah. But you also need to remember that it's very important to learn how to love yourself.
Absolutely.
Because I'd say I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot.
Wow.
If I even decided to come up with this magazine thing, I think it's because of the things life has taught me, the things I've seen, the things that I've gone through. My God.
Wow.
If I were to write a book now, I don't know. I do not know. Okay. But I just thank God so much that now I'm actually able to stand in front of people or sit down with people and talk about the things that I've seen. Yeah. But then again, I know everything happens for a reason.
For a reason, absolutely.
So I thank God so much for allowing me to experience those things. Like I always tell my friends, not that I have too many friends, but I have those 2 or 3 that are super close to me. Yes. I always tell them that everything happens for a reason.
For a reason, yeah.
The reasons why we saw 2020 is... or the reason to why 2020 came and you went hungry without food is because God allowed you to go hungry. Yeah. So tomorrow after tomorrow, when you are successful and you have the money and somebody comes to you and say, Meschack, bruh, I'm hungry, you will know how it feels like to be hungry.
Absolutely.
You know, when you beg someday, you are making the things happen. You know, you are traveling all around. Everybody is talking about you on the newspaper, on TV. When somebody comes to you and say, yo, bro, can you hook me up with this, you know, this connection? Like, I also need to be like you. Yeah. You will know how it's supposed to be like, yo, I really need to help this guy. He's got the talent. He's got it. Because you were there. You were. It's not for you to go to become so successful and start underestimating people.
Absolutely.
You know, I love it so much when people underestimate me, because people used to underestimate me a lot. Because I wasn't the type of person who would really stand in front of people and talk. Yeah. Or I wouldn't really sit with somebody like you and start talking. You know, I love it when people underestimate somebody. Why? Because they will never see your move.
Yeah, absolutely.
They will never see your next move.
They won't see it coming.
Why? Because they believe that Meschack can't do it. Yeah. Who is he? What can he do? You're not my God. You don't know what God is doing with me. You do not know what I speak to God about. Yes. So you there underestimating me. By the time I get there, even if I were making moves, you will never see it because you're busy underestimating me. You're seeing my shadow sitting there, but I'm way beyond. I don't even know what to say. Wow. But that's amazing. That's just it. That's just it for now. Yeah. But the one thing I can say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. On behalf of my team, thank you so much for your contribution. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I believe our magazine would not have been complete without your contribution. Thank you so much. So I appreciate it, and we look forward to working more with you. I hope in the future.
I look forward to that too.
In the future. So for now, I'm going to say, because I don't really believe in luck, I'm going to say, may God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Florelda Glorious, founder of the Alive magazine. See you guys next time.
Thank you.